So what do we got here? It's called the Samsung Freestyle. Let's see what's in it. Okay, so this is the initial setup. Let's go with hello. Searching for the remote. It says the remote has low battery, which is funny. That's gonna use the smartphone or the Smart Things hub from Samsung, which luckily I have one in the network. I don't know how it would work if you don't have that. Okay, so somehow it seems the simple smartphone option didn't work right away with me. So let's go down the manual option and let's see what happens here. I agree to all terms and conditions. Obviously checking for updates. I don't know if you hear this, but the fan is kind of noisy from the device. Let's activate Hulu on here. So this is the main menu. I think the biggest surprise so far for me is actually that the trapeze is so big. Let's see the settings. So Keystone is on auto. So I'm now streaming up straight to the ceiling in my living room here. And as you can see now, we don't have a keystone. It might look like a keystone from the angle I record this, but there's definitely no keystone. I was surprised to see now that it wants me to install Hulu because if you recall, right, it basically asked me to sign in before. This is pretty decent. So definitely if you were to use it in the bedroom and you shoot straight up to the ceiling, this actually is pretty sweet. Again, I don't know if you hear it, but there is really like a noise from the projector. And I will quickly move it a little bit so you will see how he's readjusting. So you see it basically makes it nice and flat again underneath. I'm gonna move it back and you hear like how the optic and everything is moving. So he really is very responsive adjusting it. I will not test in depth how the voice assistant is in it. Okay, so this is the desk, dining room table straight to the wall. Let's turn it on and see what happens. I'm surprised now again he doesn't get the geometric direction. He kinda get it, but not really. Now I think it's not that bad. So even though if it's auto, you can do some fine tuning. Surprisingly, when he goes straight up, then it's by far the best. This is kind of like the original frame we had. And even though I fine tuned it earlier, he basically goes into the same problem again, and then I can fine tune it. But I have it now in multiple rooms and the ceiling has been perfect regardless, but the wall, the auto keystone definitely needs some improvement. It could be maybe with a software update that they can actually correct that. Here with our fine tune, it works. So given the price point that it's at the $900 mark, it seems like it should do better. Okay, so the good news is I just found out why it didn't work is there's only one way you can turn it down. Up is no problem, but it's of how the sensors are. And so basically I saw when I put it away that the power cable for me came in on the right in both tests, downstairs as much as it does up here. And so I quickly set it up again. And look at this, it actually works. Now it's perfect as it should be. So user error, not equipment error. Okay, this is basically it. This is the device about your hand palm in size. It has all the sensors in it to correct the trapeze if there is one, or to autofocus. You saw he's very responsive when I move it. He's adjusting the picture basically to that room, which is really nicely done. The speakers are surprisingly decent in quality. The fan does make kind of a bit of noise, so that was a big surprise. You have some core function buttons here. It does work with either Bixby or Alexa. You saw that during the setup process. In my particular case, with the Smart Things hub, it didn't work as smooth as I wanted. So for who is this device? Obviously, it's not for the home theater setup, the serious home theater setup. This is if you want something fun and entertaining that you can Use with your family, use by yourself. You want to project something onto the ceiling in your bedroom, or 4th of July, and you want to make a mini outdoor movie, then I think this one is pretty sweet. The one thing that you should notice is if you're using it somewhere with no internet connectivity, make sure you have something like a mini HDMI adapter. Otherwise, even if you bring your laptop, it won't be of much use. I still would recommend it if you're in the search for something fun, a good Christmas present. I think with this one, this will go a long way.